Good morning, everyone. My name is Kelly Kane, and I'm the Marketing Manager for Wonderware, California. Thank you for attending our Learn in 30 webinar today focused on ArchestrA Graphics with InTouch. After the webinar this morning, we will be doing a short Q&A. Please type any questions or comments into the Q&A box, the chat box, or you can email us at webinar@california.wonderware.com. Now I'd like to introduce your presenter for today's webinar, Mike Lapitan. Mike is an automation industry expert and has been a Wonderware California product specialist for the last 10 years. Good morning, Mike. Mike,
good morning, Kelly.
There you are.
Yep. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our Learning in 30 InTouch and ArchestrA Graphics webinar. My name is Mike Lapitan, and in this 30-minute webinar, we'll do a quick introduction of who we are, and then review the benefits of ArchestrA Graphics, and then take a look at ArchestrA Graphics and how to use them with InTouch Window Maker, and finally show you some examples of ArchestrA Graphics that our customers have built. A little bit of background on Wonderware. Wonderware was the first Windows-based HMI software on the market, and an original application from 1987 can seamlessly be upgraded to run on Windows 10 and Windows Server 2016. Used in a third of the world's plants with over 1 million licenses installed, Wonderware is the #1 HMI on the market, and we're widely known for our ease of use and scalability, allowing you to get started quickly while providing a platform to grow with you over time. And Wonderware is owned by Schneider Electric, a $26 billion company specializing in efficiency technologies, which make Wonderware proven low-risk investment with global support. And Wonderware California is your local Wonderware resource. We provide certified training, technical support, and free hands-on getting started workshops at our San Francisco and Irvine offices. You can find our training and workshop schedule at california.wonderware.com, as well as more product tutorial videos on our YouTube channel. Wonderware California provides industry-leading application consulting based on over 25 years of automation experience. We also provide professional IT services to help you get your project started now with servers and computers pre-installed with Wonderware, as well as virtualized and high-availability systems. And if you're looking for a resource to help you with a turnkey project or general programming assistance, we can introduce you to one of our 120 registered system integrator partners here in California. This is our local support team. They are experts in their craft, and we get tremendous feedback from our customers about the responsiveness and the professionalism of our support staff. So hats off to them. Please join us for our upcoming user conference in May. We will be in Milpitas, Concord, and Sacramento here in Northern California, where you will get a first-hand look at InTouch and System Platform 2017. This is a major release everyone must see. And you also learn how to leverage the industrial Internet of Things and the cloud. We'll have customer presentations and demo booths and factory system consultants on hand to answer questions. So please do sign up for that on our website. So a little bit of background on what Wonderware InTouch is. It provides application development for HMIs. It provides real-time process and discrete data visualization and control. And it provides trends and alarms and history. And it's much more than an HMI. You can access InTouch via any browser, which means any device. So using the native browser of your Apple device on Safari, or on your Android device using Chrome, or on your Windows device using Microsoft Edge or Internet Explorer or Firefox. So any of those browsers allow you to access your full InTouch application. And we'll show you how ArchestrA Graphics really help that capability to resize your InTouch windows and graphics based on the screen you're trying to show your application on. So why use ArchestrA Graphics? Well, for one, there's 3 graphics libraries that are included to help you get started building your HMIs very quickly. That includes the ArchestrA Symbol Library, the Situational Awareness Graphics Library, and the Water and Wastewater Industry Graphics Library. Those are all included for free with current versions of InTouch. Symbol Editor is now right inside of Window Maker. Symbol Editor is where you can create, edit, and manage ArchestrA Graphics, and it's the most advanced graphical editor for SCADA available. They are vector-based graphics, which means they scale really well from different resolutions and screen sizes. By using ArchestrA Graphics, your screens and your symbols will be InTouch Access Anywhere ready for any browser to run the application. They allow you to create standards and enforce standards and protect your standards. They provide reusability and change propagation capability. That's good for reusing engineering time, reducing development time, and they also include more animation capability, including alarm borders. We'll take a look at those. Custom properties, which will show you some examples of what that means, similar to a memory tag in InTouch, except that we don't have to use up a tag in our InTouch license with custom properties. We support .NET controls and .NET scripting inside of ArchestrA symbols, all kinds of other things that are included in this symbol editor. But at the end, the whole point of this is to help you build an application to support a goal-oriented design. So thinking about how can we build an application that helps our people run our plants to its maximum potential. So that's what Wonderware and ArchestrA Graphics help you do, is build an HMI with a goal in mind of how can we provide information to our people to help them run the plant the most efficiently, reliably, and safely. So ArchestrA Graphics are now right inside of Window Maker. I'm going to show you this here momentarily, right inside of the software itself. And you also have the ability now to convert existing classic InTouch windows into ArchestrA symbols. And so I'll show you how to do that as well. So let's get started with our demo. We're going to take a look at our Reactor demo, which has ArchestrA Graphics. We'll look at our InTouch Modern demo, which is both of these demos are available to you to look at examples of how to build these applications and use the graphics. We'll look at the graphic toolbox right inside of Window Maker. We'll spend some time in Symbol Editor, show you how to convert those to classic InTouch windows to ArchestrA symbols, and we'll wrap up with showing you some customer examples of what other people have done. Okay, so this is our Reactor demo. This is built using ArchestrA Graphics. So all of the graphics you see here are out of the box. Really doesn't take any time at all to build a really professional, modern-looking screen like this. We'll kind of go through some of the capabilities here. This is a shrink and grow type animation where I'm growing a alarm display. I have the ability to log in here through security and turn things on and off. And I need to put in my password. So we'll go ahead and do that. Oops. Illustrator, Wonderware. There it is. Didn't fat finger at that time. So now I have the ability to actually take a handoff auto switch out of auto, put it in manual, and now I can actually get pop-up faceplates and turn things on and off. So you can see the high quality of these graphics here. And I can go ahead and show you some pop-ups here, some other faceplates. I can change some set points, go view some historical trending. This, of course, is using our Wonderware Historian Client Trend tool to do trending. There's native trending built into InTouch as well. And here's just another example of some really cool graphics inside of ArchestrA symbols. And I'll go ahead and put that in manual and kick the drum off the conveyor, and you can see the animation capability you can do here. Okay, so that's the Reactor demo. That's included as part of the Wonderware install. You can always open up that application to see how it was built. I'm going to show you another application here. We have what's called the InTouch Modern application. And this is something that also is included in the current install of 2014 R2 Service Pack 1, where you can go import this application from, so we'll click on File and go to the C drive, and it's in Program Files, x86, and it is in the Wonderware folder, and it's in the InTouch folder in the Demo app. And there it is, the InTouch Introductory Demo, AAPKG. So that file, AAPKG, that is when you import and export a modern application, which is what we're going to be working with ArchestrA Graphics inside of Window Maker. You export this file called an AAPKG. So importing an application, exporting an application will export this new file. If you've never worked with a modern InTouch application or system platform before, this is what the file is called when you export and import your application. Right inside of that same folder is also a PDF called Using the InTouch Demo Application. So you can actually learn a little bit about importing, exporting that AAPKG file, and just a couple pages there on how to get started using this. So let's take a look at the application here. We'll just go ahead and jump into Window Viewer. Okay, so I've got a demo application here that again is included with the install. It just shows you some of the example graphics here. Those are some meters, some push buttons, switches. I'm just going to go through these quickly. Lights and sliders and meters. These are all included in the ArchestrA Graphics library. Equipment, tanks, Windows forms, of course our Wonderware cow, our space cow, alarm history. Again, this is all part of InTouch. Alarm summary. I already showed trends. Mapping capabilities. This is just a browser embedded inside of InTouch. Here's another browser embedded inside of InTouch with our website. This is a tank farm. Remember this one? We're going to edit this one here in development. Here's an example bottling line. And machine control, I'll go ahead and start up my car here and rev it up and see the details of temperature and PSI and look at some trends, some real-time trends here, look at some statistics. And then I've got a dashboard here looking at a couple different regions. These are all, again, from our situational awareness library. Here's my more traditional HMI, looking at a gravity filter here. Situational awareness. So if folks are new to situational awareness, in the past we used to build single value, real-time value displays, and what situational awareness graphics help you do is build more context in for the operator so they can actually see not only what the real-time value is, but how does that compare to maybe my target region or my set point and my upper and lower control limits or alarm limits, and even adding now a trend pen to see what's been happening over time. And hey, I'm in an alarm state, so I have an alarm border that pops open, and now I'm out of alarm, so that alarm border drops out. So the whole point of this is to provide the operator more awareness of what's happening in the plant and do they need to take some action on an abnormal condition. These are called polar plots down here, this triangle, and so you can kind of see when I'm on set point for turbidity level and flow that I've got a perfect triangle, but as flow here is deviating off set point, I can see that the triangle is changing shape. Again, I can see these alarm borders showing up, and so it's intentionally left kind of grayscale unless there is an abnormal condition, in which case we use a color to display that abnormal condition or that alarm. So that's the concept of situational awareness. And again, I'll show this in the development environment, how these bullet charts are configured to show an alarm border. So you can kind of see there's different regions here and then a set point. And so I'll show you how you get this alarm border here to show up. Just another example, OEE dashboard. We're looking at a calculation on 10 different production lines here, looking at our overall equipment effectiveness, and we also, again, have these spark lines here, these real-time trends that are very lightweight. And some more dashboard graphics. These are all built in, again. Folks wanting to do more dashboards these days for supervisory overview of the status of their plants and the quality of their process. Some meters, and I can go ahead and toggle the names of my meters here and the values. So I can toggle those on and off. And finally, styles. So again, we said you can create standards with ArchestrA Graphics and symbols. So create standardized colors. So what does an alarm look like when it's unacknowledged and it's a critical alarm versus what does a high alarm look like when it's been acknowledged? So you can create these standard colors and then enforce them throughout all the graphics and symbols in your application. So how do I build a modern application? Well, back inside of InTouch Application Manager, where everybody, if you've used InTouch before, is familiar with, I would create a new application if I was starting from scratch here, create new. And by default now, you get the application type to pick, and modern application is what gives you ArchestrA Graphics inside of Window Maker. If you say, hey, I don't want the option to see those ArchestrA Graphics inside of InTouch, you can always choose to create a legacy InTouch application. But of course, that's not what we're recommending here. We're recommending modern applications. And if I've got an old existing classic application, maybe say it's version 9.5, how do I upgrade it to a modern application? Well, the same way I've always upgraded my applications. I simply open up my application in Window Maker in the newer version. So I've got 2014 R2 Service Pack 1 installed here, and I simply open it up in Window Maker. It'll ask me to migrate my application, and I would say yes, I've already done that, and I've changed the name now to this upgraded classic InTouch app. You can see now it's a modern application, and I'm going to go into that one here in a little bit and show you how to convert existing InTouch windows, classic InTouch windows, into ArchestrA symbols. So for now, let's go ahead and open up that modern demo app in Development Window Maker to show you what we've got here inside of the ArchestrA Graphic Toolbox. So we never had this before, right? If you're not using a modern InTouch app, I've got an ArchestrA Graphic Toolbox. So let's take a look at this. This allows us to see those graphic libraries I was talking about, the ArchestrA symbol library, and then if I even mouse over these symbols, I can get a preview of what those graphics look like. I've got my situational awareness library here. Those were those dashboard type graphics. And then I've got my water, wastewater graphics library with, let's take a look at some flow meters. Here we go, some flow meters. Okay. So this allows me to create graphics, save graphics, customize them, duplicate them, and save them in a library. They don't have to be embedded in a window. I can just save them. And I can export them and import them, right? So if I wanted to just specifically export this graphic, right, and move it into another application, I could export that one, or I could import a whole graphics library if I wanted to. So I can import ArchestrA Graphics, and then there's my water graphics library. So if anybody needs a copy of this, you just reach out to us. We'll send it to you. It's on the Wonderware support site, but it's probably easiest if we just actually send you a copy. And you can import that. That's free, and it gives you all of these water, wastewater graphics here. So that one's not installed by default. You have to install that one separately. No cost. Okay. So let's go ahead and create a new graphic tool set. So again, we've got these existing graphic tool sets. Let's create a new one called New Graphic Tool Set, and we'll call this one Webinar. And inside of our Webinar tool set, we'll create a new ArchestrA symbol. And we'll just call this one Webinar Pump. Okay. So let's open that up. And so now I'm creating a new ArchestrA graphic. And so what I can do if I want is I can, use all these tools here to create, my own graphics. I can create, shapes here, and I could come here to my fill, and I can start creating my own custom graphic here with, multiple gradients and variants, and I can see the preview of what those look like, and have transparency, and I can even flip it around if I want to. Okay, I see over here on the right-hand side, I can specify what's the XY location, the width, the height. I can add what are called custom properties, and we're going to do that here momentarily. So what we want to do first is just go browse our graphic libraries. Instead of building one from scratch, let's go grab our pump centrifugal, just to kind of show you some of the other ones here, right? Here's my tanks, and here's my water industry pack here with, again, those flow meters. Okay, so lots of good stuff here. Flow meter face plates. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my pumps here, and I'm going to use this pump centrifugal. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm embedding a graphic that already exists, and that graphic is the same one that's here in my ArchestrA symbol library in my pumps folder called Pump Centrifugal. So what I'm going to do now, after I've embedded that, is I'm going to create a push button to turn that pump on and off. So I'll create a button over here. I've got my button icon, and I'm going to just say this is the toggle pump, and I'm going to go ahead and again use one of those cool gradients up here from my fill color here, and I'll just maybe make it a little bit more colorful there. And so do that. Get a preview, see what that looks like, and maybe the second color, I'll make it more of a yellow. Okay, so I can quickly start to build some really professional looking graphics here and not have to spend a lot of time doing this. All right, so now I want to go ahead and create a custom property here to toggle this, this pump with my push button. So I'm going to create a custom property, right-clicking on the canvas, click Add, and I'm going to call this custom property toggle pump. So I'll spell it right, toggle pump. Okay. And so that's my custom property. And so what I'll do now is inside of this push button, I'm going to add an animation. So remember, here's all these cool animations that you didn't have with InTouch graphics before. So, you know, fill styles and visibilities and alarm borders and, you know, the location, the orientation, value display, user inputs, push buttons, action scripts, show symbol, hide symbol. So we're going to make this a push button. And it's a Boolean, and we're going to use our toggle pump. And look at that, IntelliSense finds our custom property there, toggle pump. And we're going to make it a toggle so we can actually get a preview of what that does. Sets our value, true and false. Okay, so now we want to give our graphic a name here. So let's give our graphic a description here, and we're going to call this, again, our pump, call it W underscore pump. All right, so let's just give it a name. Okay. We'll go ahead and save and close this. Actually, you know what? We won't even close it. We'll just click Save. We'll click Save. And now we'll go into back into Window Maker, and we'll create a new window. And call it New. And make it bigger. And now we've got our webinar pump here. I'll just simply drag it over here and double click on it. And there's my toggle pump custom property that I created. And I'm going to go ahead and tie that to my InTouch tag now. So I'm going to go ahead and tie that to my pump 1. And the same thing with the animation for the pump. There's built-in animations, built-in custom properties for those ArchestrA graphics. We'll also use pump 1 for the 2 animations on that pump. There's an inlet animation and there's a pump animation. Okay, and then maybe I'll do Control L to substitute strings, and we'll say toggle pump 1. Okay. All right, so let's just take a look at that real quick. Okay, so now I can turn my pump on and off. That looks good. Great. Okay, so what if I want to add a second one now? There we go. Add a second one. Open it up. I'm going to tie this one to my pump 2 tag. Double click. Go add it to pump 2. And same thing here with my other animation for my pump. Just double click in this field, pump 2. And then for toggle pump, I'll also tie that to pump 2. Okay, and then we'll do a Control L to substitute strings, and we're going to say toggle pump 2. Click OK. All right, so you can see how fast we can start doing some really nice graphics here and creating that standard, right? We've got a standard. So what happens now? I've got my my pump here. Now, what if I want to go add a tank, right, to that? Go here and come here to my vessels, and we'll say we're going to add this tank cylinder vert fill just for simplicity's sake here. We're just going to do this quick. And again, I'll do a save and close this time. And then there's a little button on the bottom here. It says one or more embedded symbols have new content. Double click to get the latest content. So that refreshes the screen. And now I've got the ability to now go assign my tags to my tank. So I could go change the value here to my analog tag for my tank. Okay. So that's getting started there with ArchestrA symbols. Now let's go ahead and take a look at one of our existing screens we had here. We had, we're going to go into the Section 4, Window 1. Remember this screen here we showed you in the InTouch Modern app? So this whole screen is a single ArchestrA symbol. So when I right-click on it, I can go to ArchestrA Graphic Tank Farm, Edit Symbol. And here it is. So this is what we recommend, making your whole InTouch window an ArchestrA symbol. And I'll show you some benefits of how that helps. So if I look at these individual tanks and I click on Embedded Symbol, they were all built from this parent graphic here called SS Tank Vert Fill. So if I look at the custom properties of this SS Tank Vert Fill, I can see that my fill color is green. And so if you remember that animation when those tanks were filling, they were turning green. And so maybe I want to change that. I want to say, hey, instead of green, I want to make that fill color red. So I'll save and close that. And then I'll jump back into Window Viewer. Let's come back in here to switch to Runtime, the Window Viewer. And now I've got a red fill color. Okay, so remember I changed that in one place. I changed that in the parent graphic, and now all the children graphics, the instances, they all got that change. Okay, so again, that's the reusability and that change propagation of ArchestrA Graphics. All right, so let's take a look at how to go ahead and convert classic InTouch windows over to ArchestrA symbols. So I'm going to open up InTouch Application Manager again. And here is my upgraded InTouch Classic application. All right, so let's open that up in Window Maker. Okay, so I'm going to open up my window called Screen System Overview, and that's this guy here. So notice this is my traditional InTouch screen, my classic InTouch screen that's got the InTouch animations and expressions here right inside of Window Maker. So if I kind of double click on this, I can see the visibility. You know, that's just in my classic InTouch app. Okay, I got a show window here, so it's going to show a specific window. Okay, so this is classic InTouch. Well, what I can do now, instead of managing these all, is just, you know, my traditional InTouch where I can't actually save these graphics in a graphic toolbox or anything, you know, and doesn't scale very well. You know, I really get some bad stretching when I try to scale it on a larger, going from 4:3 to 16:9, for example. What I can do is I can right-click on it, and I can convert to ArchestrA symbol. And so when I do that, I get a new screen. I get a new screen here that actually now is an ArchestrA symbol, and I get a new graphic tool set, and there's that that screen as an ArchestrA symbol. So literally, I could delete that whole graphic, and I could then put it back on there. Right, because now it's saved as an ArchestrA symbol. And so what if I now want to go edit it or take a look at it inside of Symbol Editor? There it is. And so now all of the InTouch referencing is intact. Okay, so this is all now available inside of Symbol Editor. So this is cool now because now I can save these windows as graphics, and I can do all of the new animations, and old graphics can run side by side with new graphics. I get the power of the scripting environment. But what else is cool is I'll create a new window. Oops, let me go ahead and just close this one. close. I'll create a new window. Say, hey, this is my new app. It's going to run on a HD TV, 1920 by 1080. Oops, that one already exists. It's all new too. Okay, and so I'm going to take my my new upgraded InTouch window that's an ArchestrA symbol, and look how I can resize this. I don't have to go resize each individual graphic like I would have had to do in classic InTouch. So now I can run this application on my high-def TV, and because it's an ArchestrA vector-based graphic, it does a really good job of scaling. There we go. All right, so here's some examples of what customers have done. There's a little beer dashboard. If you've heard of New Belgian Brewing Company, this is shared by them. This is the actual screen they use to monitor their bottling line and their dashboards. Here's an example batch system, looking at the batch status. Here's an example from the city of Santa Rosa. They were kind enough to share some screens that they've built. Here's their wastewater headworks. Here's their irrigation grid. Here's their pond with all the control faceplates popped up. And here's their underground equalization basin. And what's really helpful for them is that this allows the operator to actually see what the physical process and the equipment looks like, even though it may not be visible because it might be underground or underwater. So they may have never seen this equipment, but they're still responsible for operating it and maintaining it. And so now they get a visual of actually what's happening in the process, and it looks just like the real equipment in the field. So what's the next steps? If you want to learn how to take advantage of all this great new functionality, come to training. Here in Northern California, we've got InTouch training in Sacramento and San Francisco coming up here. We've got a free workshop at our San Francisco office on Wednesday, April 19th on InTouch and ArchestrA Graphics. And in Southern California, we've got InTouch training in Bakersfield coming up, as well as Irvine. And we have the free InTouch and ArchestrA Graphics workshop in Irvine on April 19th and 20th. Our next webinar is Learn in 30 Dream Reports. So you'll learn how to quickly design your own reports without any programming skills and generate those reports in PDF, Excel, and share those in a web browser as well. So that's Friday, April 21st. And you can sign up for all those trainings, workshops, and of course our user conference at california.wonderware.com. If you have any questions, please put them into the chat panel. And Kelly, do we have any questions?
Yes, we do have a few that have come in. The first one is, how do I know if my current application was built using ArchestrA or something else? How do I convert InTouch V10 to ArchestrA Graphics?
Okay, I think I heard a couple different questions there. So how do I know if my InTouch application is using ArchestrA Graphics? Okay, so if you are in the development environment, you will see this ArchestrA Graphic Toolbox, and any of the graphics that would be in your windows would be in this ArchestrA Graphic Toolbox. So you can always right-click on a graphic, and if you see ArchestrA Graphic there, then you know it's an ArchestrA Graphic. So that'll allow you to edit the symbol. So that's probably the best way is in the development environment. If you're not sure if you're using ArchestrA Graphics, you can right-click right inside a window maker on any graphic and see if it is an ArchestrA Graphic or not. The second half of that question was what was it, Kelly? How do I convert InTouch V10 to ArchestrA? Okay, yeah. So I think we covered that where we converted the screen, for example, to an ArchestrA symbol. So. You know, that's upgrading your application to a modern application, and then you have that capability. Okay.
Do I need to specify the monitor screen definition that I need to view InTouch graphics every time? Isn't this process automatic?
Well, so again, you can create a standard graphic, and it does a pretty good job here of scaling. So again, if I were to come back here to well, I don't want to spend too much time on that, but I could have window viewer. I'll show you. Exit. You can have InTouch window viewer automatically adjust to the target screen resolution you want. So here in my upgraded InTouch app, I can come here to Node Properties, and I can come to Resolution, and I can say, allow window viewer to dynamically change resolution. So this allows me to automatically convert the windows in my application to the screen resolution. So if I'm viewing this on high-def TV, it'll display it full screen in high def. If it's a old school 4:3 monitor, 1024 by 768, it'll shrink the screens down, the windows down to 1024 by 768. So no, you typically build your application for the most commonly used target device. If it's most commonly going to be used on an HD TV, you typically build your screens for that, but then you use window viewer automatically converting the screen video resolution to display on whatever size monitor you end up using for different target devices and monitors.
Okay. Can I add new graphics while the application is running online?
Undo graphics while the application is running online. Yeah, so again, without getting too much into the weeds here, you can change, you can set an application to notify an operator that a change has been made, so that it will prompt them, hey, do you want to upload the changes? Or you can set the application to restart automatically, or you can manually, of course, upload those changes. So yeah, there's capabilities to pick how you want to notify an operator that a change has been made, and do you want to automatically upload those, or prompt the operator, or just wait to do it later.
All right, a couple more. What version of ArchestrA does this convert to ArchestrA option available? Do you understand that one? Yeah,
2014 R2. Yeah, so that's the current version, right? So if you're on support, you get this capability for free. Yeah, with current capabilities, 2014 R2, that's going to give you the full capabilities of the latest and greatest with all the different ArchestrA graphics, situational awareness graphics, conversion of windows, and so on. So definitely, we recommend the latest version.
All right, and I think this is the last one. Does Wonderware have SPC package?
Yes, we do. It's called Wonderware MES Quality.
Okay. All right, well, I think that wraps it up. So thank you, Mike, and thank you, everyone who attended. This webinar was recorded, so it will be posted to our website and YouTube channel this afternoon, and you will be receiving a copy of it via email. So thank you, everyone, for attending, and have a great weekend.